So, hi, welcome to another episode of me recording with zero budget in my way too messy of a kitchen. Just got back from a camping trip. It was hot, sweaty, uncomfortable, and a little stinky. So, kind of like my wedding night, but a little bit more depressing. So, the camping trip made me kind of think about all the other times I've gone on camping trips. This camping trip, I'm going with my kids, and it's not that fun. I mean, it is a little bit fun, but like 90% of the time I'm making sure my three sons don't kill each other, which is a bit more difficult. If you can try to have three kids, hope that you have a girl, because at least she won't try to be the third person that kills you. But anyway, these camping trips made me kind of think about all the other camping trips I've done with the boys over the years. This one, I should say, we started going camping as, like, when I say camping with the boys, I mean like just me and my buddies without parents. First time I did it, I think it was in 2005 or 2006. We had this little spot right on the ocean that we'd go camping in. I think the first time we did it, it was me, my buddy Mark, my buddy Nick, and two of my sister's dumb friends that kind of tried to crash the party. It was right on the ocean. There was no trees for like a mile around. So when we first started trying to camp, we would meet at my parents' house, and then we would try to grab like a tote bag, like a big old bag of feed, and fill it up with wood, and walk 3 kilometers on the ocean front, because it zigzagged all over the place, to try to get it to the fire pit. Not really worth it. So yeah, we would stop, we would get 3 things of firewood, and hope and pray that we'd find driftwood on the ocean. So like, it was, to get there, I'd drive to the end of the road, which is like a point of land on the ocean, and then you had to walk through a cow pasture, and then you had to walk through a beach. Now the beach was very narrow, so like during high tide, there'd be the ocean in front of you and the ocean behind you. It was kind of like just laid out funny like that. And then you kept walking until you get to a cliff that was in the middle of nowhere. 90% sure we could have died if we went in the winter. But yeah, we would go there. We would put up some tents that were like 15 years old and full of mold. I'm pretty sure we found some skin magazines in there from the last person that used it. We would go, we would set it up, and then half the time we did it. I remember one time we did it. We didn't have tent pegs, so tenting with the boys, it's not complete without some pegging. We had to, we grabbed rocks off the beach, we put it in the tent, prayed it wouldn't blow away, and then we would go to the movies. And I don't know what, we went to go see some stupid movie, and then we got back. We had to walk another 3 kilometers to get to our campsite, and then we went up there. We went with me, Mark, and Nick, and one of my sister's dumb friends. Then Nick spent like half of that night rolling around in the grass with her friend making out. Nick's kind of a hound dog. He's like my friend that is 90%, like, he is most likely out of any of my friends who have been in a gross 3-way. He's that kind of guy. And yeah, so that's how it was with him. We did it a few times on the beach there. I remember there was one night we did it. We did it with my cousin from Newfoundland. We went there and we bought some cookies. And I remember when I woke up the next morning after we had those cookies in our tent, I started accidentally slept on the cookies. So when I woke up, there was chocolate up and down my back, made it kind of look like I shat the bed. Not really a good experience. Although I'm sure I've had worse up and down my back than just cookies. Not something I would recommend, laying down with chocolate all over your back. But anyways, it was pretty fun. We did it a few other times. Eventually, we started smartening up and like, okay, we're not gonna do this on the ocean anymore. Boys' night on oceanfront. It's a little too fruity. So after that, we started going deep in the woods. We started doing that. We did it at the spot we called the Rock. We had a couple different guys in our friend group. We had Alan, the paranoid firefighter that always wanted to check to make sure he wasn't gonna get in trouble, because he was like, oh, if we lit a fire when it's not the appropriate time of year or anything like that, I could get in trouble. And we had Nick, the outdoor survivalist that was terrible at anything to do with outdoor survival. Speaking of Nick, one time we went to summer camp once, and it was like Survival Week or something like that, and one of the competitions was to make a fire. Nick had a team name for his team, and he called it the Pyromaniacs. He was the only team who couldn't light the fire. His method of lighting a fire is going to the gas station, buying a pre-bought bag of kindling, putting it down, and spraying the fire with Axe body spray, and that's how he would light his fire. Then yes, that was Nick, and then we went with Mark, the guy that was more concerned with buying beef jerky for the trip, and there was me, the guy who avoided doing all the work, putting the tent up, and we just kind of stand off in the distance eating some Doritos. There was there was one time we actually slept out on in the middle of the lake. We got our boats, we loaded it up with all of our gear, went off to the middle of an island, and we slept there, and that was actually probably the funnest camping trip. But on the way back, one of the boys, their wife, started crying, saying that, "Oh, you're not home in time." So we had to leave early. Won't say who it is, but you know who you are, you dick. Didn't even have any kids. Anyways, I was there. On the way back, I did something. I annoyed one of my friends too much. So what we did is, I had a canoe, they had a canoe, and he tied himself onto the back of my boat without telling me. So this whole time I'm paddling across the lake, probably like 600 meters that I had to paddle, and I had a guy that I was towing. I was too stupid to even notice that. I was like, oh, why is this so heavy? Why do I feel like I got Alan's mother in the canoe with me? It's just very, very bad. Yeah. Now, there was a few times when the camping trip was extremely cold. Most of the time we would go in August, but some of the times that we would go camping on the ocean, very, very cold. So one night I remember we all started huddling up, and it was a little awkward and uncomfortable, but my words of wisdom for that entire camping trip was, it's okay to snuggle up. It's okay to snuggle up and huddle up and warm each other up. And the best piece of advice I could ever give for camping with the boys is that it's not gay if it's for warmth. So that's my words of wisdom. It's not gay if it's for warmth, boys. It's all right. Yeah. So we also started camping in the woods. I remember one time I packed instant noodles, and they're like super, super fiery noodles. Like you go to this store and you pick out, they're called Buldak noodles, but they have like Chinese letters all over them. So if you buy something that has Chinese letters all over them, you know it's gonna mess you up. I went ahead and I ate like 2 portions of it in my thermos, and when it came to packing up, we had to walk like a mile through the woods. My butthole was burning. I mean, that's the last thing you want when you're camping with the boys, is unexpected butthole pain. But that's what it was. So anyways, this is a pretty short episode today. Just wanted to talk about going camping. Yeah, just remember, not gay if it's for warmth, boys. It's all right. See ya.